what I'm saying, a teacher, you know, and he started a real powerful movement, you know what I mean, that, you know, we see a lot, I see a lot of Instagram, you know, photos, and we did, you know, went to his, where he teaches at, and did a little speech, you know, over there. So he's in the building, man. We're gonna talk to him, talk about his community outreach, how he came up with the idea, and some other things, man. Just have a good, you know what I mean, show today, man.
Yeah, man, real excited. I'm very excited about this interview right here. I've known Mike for a real long time. The IAmMore movement, a real great and powerful movement we have going on in the South Jersey area and beyond real soon. So Mr. Forrest, go ahead and introduce yourself, brother, man. Let them know who you are, where you're from, what you got going on with IAmMore.
Mike Forrest. I'm actually from Mays Landing. Moved out here from Sicklerville when I was around like 13, 14 years old. Married, 2 kids. Been married for 13 years now. You know, IAmMoreMovement is an organization that I've been running along with my wife, and it's that, a movement. You know what I'm saying? It's really not something that, you know, people have to join. You know how there's different organizations where you kind of like members and stuff like that. It's just a movement. So like if you agree with what we're trying to do, you immediately become part of the movement. You know what I'm saying? But the movement started with I was working at a high school, and I was just starting to see a lot of the teachers and counselors just breaking our kids down. You know what I'm saying? That was the first time I actually seen it like head on. You know what I'm saying? I was actually in the same building, in the same place, witnessing these students going through these hardships. You know, if a teacher or a counselor is telling you that you're not going to be successful and you should do this and you should do that, I mean, like, these are the people that we're supposed to be listening to. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like I became the person that was always telling people, nah, you don't gotta listen to them, you more than what they saying. And that's just, it like spun off of that. Just always telling people that they're more than what society is saying, because, you know, society is basically, it's a whole bunch of boxes in the world now, man. And everybody is trying to put people in certain boxes. And it's people like myself and others that's telling people that they don't have to be in that box. You're more than this, you're more than that. Like, every young black kid is not going to be a rapper, or is not always trying to be an NFL star, or just because, you know, your father's not in your life, you won't be successful, you know, just stuff like that. I've always found myself being that person, lifting them up. So it kind of spun off of that. And I just try to do stuff in the community to bring, you know, I grew up without a father, so that's big for me, trying to get the fathers and sons connected together in the community as much as I can.
It's interesting you say that, Mike, because for those of you who don't know, I've known you for quite some time now. We went to high school together. You were going out as I was coming in, and you've always displayed this real leadership quality about you. People have always looked up to you, whether you said it or not. You just had that quality about you that people just kind of responded to. You always led, even without word. So to have this and to have you kind of transform into what IAmMore is, it's not surprising to see from me. I always kind of seen that in you.
Appreciate that, man.
Who are the people that inspired you? Who are the people that you looked up to, or who are the people that kind of motivated you to get up every day and to do the things that you did, even in high school and growing up?
Well, I want to say right now, the people who motivate me the most are my sons.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to do everything for them. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I help guide them in the way that God wants me to guide them, so they can be awesome young men. You know what I'm saying? My wife as well, but that's behind. You know, I want to go back to, you say who started this kind of stuff. My mom always was the type of person who always, she was always the type of person that let me know that it was okay to be different. You know what I'm saying? From, you remember, like in high school, like a lot of people did certain things, but I didn't do them. You know what I'm saying? And I was cool with not doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was cool within myself to be like, nah, I'm not doing that. And if peer pressure was something that it didn't bother me. Like, you can be with a whole group of dudes, I'm like, yo, we about to go here, we about to do that, and I'd be like, nah, I'm good. And I can just turn away without being like, dang, I should have did that. I'm just like, nah, I just didn't want to do it. So my mom was always a person who I felt comfortable within myself because of her. Didn't really have too much of a father figure growing up, even though my dad was around. I get along with, I love my dad, but he just wasn't there during those times. You know what I'm saying? So my football coach, Coach Everett, I don't know, was Coach Ed there when you was there?
Mm-hmm.
Coach Ed,
Going out, I was coming in. He was leaving too.
He's still in my life to this day.
Wow.
So he made me, he actually, and I say this for real, he made me believe in myself.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was a freshman, I just wanted to just, you know, kind of like play around and just be with my friends and play football. But then my sophomore, he told me when I was a freshman, like, yo, you could start next year. And I was like, nah, I wasn't even trying to hear that. So when my sophomore year came around, he was like, yo, you're going to be starting. And I was like, nah, I just want to play JV with my friends. You know what I'm saying? Because all my friends was basically playing JV. Mm-hmm. So he was like, nah, man, you're going to be starting. And then when I told him that, nah, I don't want to do that, he kind of like got in my grill about stop thinking less than yourself. Like, because I was a little dude, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah, you could do this. And ever since then, like I started listening to him, and he never lied.
It's funny, man. I got to bring up the story now, because it's funny you say that. I'm a freshman, right? We run in track, and I forgot what meet we are, but we run in the 400. I ran the 4, I ran the 2, and I did the high jump. I think you ran the 4, 2, and then what you do, the long jump or something like that?
Yeah, I did the long jump.
Right. So I'm a freshman. He's a senior. We're doing the 4x4 relay. You got the anchor leg. I'm watching this shit go down. I'm not lying to you. So whoever we're playing, they got probably about 150-meter lead on Oakcrest at the time he grabs the baton. So that's about maybe 10 seconds ahead of Mike he got going on right now. I watched his brother track this dude all the way down to about 300 meters, which is about at the turn when we hit that last 100.
That was AC.
And the fear in homeboy's eyes, you seen it, like he was running and he felt you, and then you hear the momentum, you hear the crowd, and you just see it, and then you could see him just slowing up, scared of the moment, and you took it over, and you crossed that finish line, and you showboated a little bit, and the coach was like, "Yo, don't do that, don't showboat." And in my mind, I'm like, "No, fuck that, let them know." Yes, that kind of but fuck that, that was dope. That kind of confidence though, and just the way that inspired me. You were inspiration early on, so. Just shout out to that, man, real rap. And just to go into that a little bit, talk about how you bring that inspiration into your kids when it comes to coaching now, because you kind of transcended the ball field, the track and field to coaching and things like that. So get into coaching.
Well, the main thing I coach now is just football. Football is where my passion is at. I kind of did some coaching in track, but just like my heart really wasn't in it, man. Like, even when I was in high school, I mean, we had a great track team. But if you remember, man, like I was always in the media room. Like I come to practice late. It was just a God-given talent that I was able to just run. You know what I'm saying? If I would have put a lot more work into track, who knows what I could have really done. But my passion wasn't in it. But football is what I do. And, you know, it's a great thing, because I think life and football go perfect with each other, because, you know, one of the big things I teach I coach high school and my little guys. I coach at Cedar Creek High School, and I coach the Hamilton Knights in the Mays-Landon area. It's the Unlimited League. Lakers is the limited, what, you know, the one you got to kind of like weigh in and stuff like that. We don't. So we got them big hogs that be coming out crazy. But I'm always talking to them about adversity and how football is like life, man. It's just a whole bunch of stuff is coming at you all the time. And are you going to get up, or are you just going to continue to let a team or life run you over? You know what I'm saying? And that's one of my biggest things. Just, I'm always trying to, like, the wins and losses are cool, but it's really not that important to me, because when I first started coaching, we didn't win too many games, man. Like last year, I think I had 2 wins. And the year before that, maybe 4. And then the year before that, 1, if that. This past year, we was the first undefeated team in Hamilton Knight history. We went to the championship. We lost in overtime. But those kids that I've had when I was losing all those games are the same kids that I had from the beginning. So they was the same ones losing every week. And it's just continual building of these young men, and it got to the point where it started to click, and those boys was ready. So I'm losing a lot of them, but you know what I'm saying? It's just great to see that they starting to kick up now.
Dope.
So it's great. It's great.
Yeah, definitely. You took my question, but it's all good.
My bad,
It's all
bad.
good. Nah, man, it's inspirational, to see, what you're doing. What's in the future for the IAmMore movement? What's your I would say your objective, like a mission statement. Could you talk to the people, more about, that what you set out to do, in the community with being a mentor for young children?
Well, revamping minds is what we talk about. That's what it's all about. Because the brain is an awesome thing, because you can be living a certain way and doing something a certain way for so long, but you can make your brain new. Like you can think brand new. So whatever you was doing a year ago, if you had finally thought like, you know what, I'm more than what I was doing back then. Now you can change your whole mindset and be a new person. So that's basically what it is, revamping minds. And during that, it's a lot that I want to do. Just continue to do stuff in the community, like the football community football thing that we did last year, which was great. I want to do that annually. The Friday after Thanksgiving, I want to do that. I want to get back into doing the SAT stuff that I was doing in the beginning. Just different things happen, so you get pulled in different directions. Just this morning, I don't know if on Instagram, for some reason, it wouldn't load up on the Instagram, but on my Facebook, I actually wanted to start doing like a father-son group, because as a father, you know what I'm saying, it's just some things that I want to talk to my son about, because he's at that age now, 12, sex and all the stuff that's going on. Like I've been having conversations with him, but from growing up without a father and basically not wanting to talk to my mom about sex and girls and all that kind of stuff, I kind of like held that stuff in and really didn't talk about it. So I don't really even know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I want to get fathers who may have had fathers or have been talking to their sons about different situations. Let's all link up and just have open floor about what's going on in life. How are you tackling stuff? How are you tackling stuff? And let the kids talk. What are they hearing about in school? What do they think about what's going on in the nation right now? All that kind of stuff. So that's something that I just actually did a video for today, trying to get something like that started. I guess the biggest goal is to try to get like a small like community building or something where I can have little classrooms. I can have like a kitchen, because I know my wife wants to teach families how to cook and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I want to have a little area where I can get like some turf, do my training. That's another thing I do. Just strictly a receiver camp that I do every year. We've been traveling around. So last year we did New York and the area around here, and then there's some other people that's trying to pick us up. So I think we're going to Maryland this year along with New York and around this area. So that's cool. But yeah, that's what the stuff that I'm trying to do, man. And this community center, and I know it's tough. It's just kind of like, I just wish somebody can see what I'm doing, and just invest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe in that dude, man. Go $1 billion. Let's do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm waiting on God, man, to see what God's going to do. But until that time, I'm just going to keep grinding, keep doing what I'm doing. I just actually hit one of my boys up today who's in real estate. And it's a couple buildings that I have my eye on that's just been nothing going on with him for a long time. I just want to know what's going on with it, how much money they asking for. If he knows any investors that would like kind of invest, that'd be something dope.
Word, yes. The importance of entrepreneurship, especially amongst us, is very important. And what we got going on as far as different businesses and different movements are very, very important. Let's talk about the kids real quick, because you are involved with young men a lot. And 2019, this day and age with social media and how kids are communicating are way different than how we communicated. Talk about bullying and to talk about what the peer pressures of which you see children are going through and young men are going through in particular, and how it's different from what we went through in the past.
Man, can you imagine if we had social media?
I'd
be in so much trouble.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be scared for real.
I'm thinking about how the trash talking and all that stuff is going on now. What I would have been doing, because I talked a little trash a little bit, and it'd have been back in our day, man. You really had to like see him out there, like in the mall or something. Like, yo, this week, you know, we gonna get y'all, right? It ain't now. Kids can just sit home, yo, you trash on, and then retweet, then it gets crazy, and then it's just a whole different world, man. And there's people taking their lives from posts, like different posts and stuff that people are saying on the internet. It's crazy, man. And I think the biggest thing that we have to teach our young people is for them to be comfortable with who they are. You know what I'm saying? And not try to be something that they're not. You know, if I think that for me, I make sure that my sons know that I think that they're amazing. I tell them that they're kings. I tell them I love them. I told my son the other day, like, yo, you are so dope. Like, you the coolest thing. And he's like, what you talking about? I'm just saying, like, you cool. Like this what you do, the way you act, like you just cool, man. And that kind of stuff coming from a father, man, nobody can touch that.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like a little boy can say, yo, you corny, you ugly, blah, blah. But if you constantly being lifted up in the home, I don't believe anything can break you outside. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's really huge. I think in the home, that has to be major. I remember I spoke at an event maybe a couple months ago, and I asked the parents to say something awesome about your child. And it was a couple parents that really couldn't say anything. Like they sat down, didn't get up. It was a couple parents that really had a lot to say. And you could tell a lot of parents was like, this is something that I got to do more. Right. Because if you tell me to say something dope about my sons, let's go. I'm ready to, I'm going to tell you a lot. You know what I'm saying? But if you stand up, or if you don't stand up and you thinking like, damn, this means that it's an issue. Like you really not saying nothing. So imagine being in your home, not being lifted up. Then you go outside and you go to school, not being lifted up. Then kids is involved in different sports and different coaches who really don't care about building men. They just want to use your child to win. They not being built up. So there's no place for that child to be built up. So you can understand why the bullying thing is so crazy, because nobody is really explaining how awesome that these kids are. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, we need to talk to the people that are doing the bullying as well, because there's something within them making them feel like it's comfortable or it's okay to do that to others. They just want to be talked to and communicate, man. It's all about love, man. Just come here, man. Why you do that? Right. Why you call him that? And they just be like, nah, Mr. Mike, nah, man, we just playing. Nah, man, it ain't playing. Like some of these kids don't have a sense of humor.
Right. Yeah. It ain't playing.
You know what I'm saying? I remember coming up, man. I did my best to treat everybody the same, man. Like the people who thought, like if you was considered like a cornball and stuff like that, like I would treat you cool, man. Like I pick you on my squad and gym. I rock with you. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know what that person is going to. It'll be that same person, that quiet person. You talk to him wrong. That's the same dude coming back to the schools with the blick on him. You know what I'm saying? Ready. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I want to talk about, pretty much, how did you overcome, not having a father during the most crucial, years in your life and become the man that you are, like, because a lot of times when a lot of guys that I know didn't have a father, they went a totally different way, and they kind of always use that as an excuse to why. So talk about, overcoming that, and how'd you get to where you're at now?
Let me take a second.
Yeah, you good, man.
Man, a lot of that has to do with my mom. My mom did the best that she could to make me believe in myself and to make me feel like I was a cool kid. You know what I'm saying? That was a big part of it. And during those times, in those little areas where I needed advice from men, I had people like Coach Ev to fill those gaps, you know what I'm saying? And then as I got older and I started going to church, and I think my junior year in college, I came home, I got saved. I went to this church and it was just mad real, you know what I'm saying? So I just felt like it was time for me to make that change, you know what I'm saying? So, and then my pastor, who I call my dad now because he basically adopted me that day. You know what I'm saying? And always been there since. I was just with him the other day. Like, he's teaching me about firearms and the safety about firearms. I never thought I would hold a gun. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always kind of like, I don't want to say I was scared of them, but it was just something that I never thought I'd be doing because that just wasn't my thing. But he told me a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just know the safety of it. It ain't like you going out when we trying to shoot people. It's just that you understand it. And if you ever had to use it, now you know what I'm saying? I understand. I feel comfortable with it now. You know what I'm saying? I feel comfortable with one in my home. You know what I'm saying? And my kids understand how to use it, what to do if something bad happened. You know what I'm saying? So I think the way I became how I am now was first, I believe God had a purpose for me from the beginning. And it was going to happen regardless, some type of way. Whether it was my mom who just going to pour everything in, but I believe that I got brothers, people who I call brothers who aren't my blood brothers, but people who have come into my life teaching me new things. My pastors are always teaching me new things. I still got Coach Ed, who's still my mentor to this day. So I would say people stepping up.
Right.
You know, doing the same thing that I'm trying to do, just fill gaps, man. And that's why it's a passion for me, because I know it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I could have made the wrong turn so many times, but because of those people in my life, it was easy for me to stay on the straight and narrow.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, let's transition to football real quick, and the NFL, and obviously the social conversation that's been going on in the NFL the last couple of years with Kaepernick and the movement that he started. A very powerful movement. I want to get your thoughts on the whole situation with the NFL and Colin Kaepernick, and also how it transitioned to the little leagues into the field. And did you have to talk to your boys about that? And did it spill over into the game, into the Pop Warner leagues and things like that?
It was funny. I was just talking about this Wednesday with my mentor group and the college mentor group that you guys came and spoke to. Which you guys got to come back again.
Yeah, fella, anytime.
There's a whole bunch of new guys in there now. We were talking about morals. I'm big on morals and values and what's important and what the word everything means to you individually. You know what I'm saying? And everything means different stuff to different people. You know what I'm saying? So if you have to give everything up, could you? You know what I'm saying? And that makes people think. Like, Colin Kaepernick did that, bro. Like, he felt that if I lose this and if I lose this, what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying to stand for is more important than the checks and playing ball. That's a hard decision. And it's hard for people it's easy for people, to say, oh, I would have did the same thing. But yo, if you got a family that's relying on those NFL checks, if you got so used to a certain type of lifestyle, and without this lifestyle, things change. The house you bought mom, you know, what happens? The house you bought this person, what happens? All the stuff that you got going on, what happens? And for him to give all that up is amazing to me, man. Like, I think like he's like the modern day like king, like modern day Muhammad Ali type stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you see it did kind of spill in to the little leagues, but I don't know if people were just doing it, taking the knee and stuff just because it kind of was like a fad at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think if you really explain it to the kids and if that's something that they wanted to do, you know, let's rock with it then. I talked to my kids about it. I talked to my some of my football players about like why he's doing that. And that's because, and it's crazy how it got all spent around, man, that, you know, he was trying to be disrespectful and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, for some of the research that I did, it was actually, I don't know if it was a Marine who actually told him that he should, instead of just sitting down, he should at least just kneel. That's still showing some type of respect or whatever. People flipped it up, and then it became a racial thing, and it just got out of hand. And it's a shame that, you know, what's going on, that he's still not on the football team, and he's still not, you got it. Let's be honest, man. The quarterbacks that's on some of these teams, like, he's definitely better than a lot
Absolutely.
A lot.
And I think we would agree with that. But oftentimes on this podcast, when talking about Kaepernick, I know me personally, and I can say, oh, God, you can attest to this. And if you can't, let me know. But I say that he shouldn't even want to go back to the NFL. I think that if he does go back, it kind of takes away from all the power that he's created now.
True.
Because not only do you take criticism from all these nasty people who can't stand you anyway, the second you throw a pick, an interception, you do something wrong on the field, you got to go and put yourself to the will of all these people that's going to play away, the racist comments, this, that, and the third, them critiquing you, on top of the fact of getting injured. You left the game, although very controversial, well in health, well in mind. You got a nice contract from Nike. You're still receiving money to compensate and take care of your family. Why even go back to the NFL?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that?
Man, that's a tough one because we all got dreams, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was my man's dream.
Right.
And I don't blame him for wanting to play again because, Colin Kaepernick is still young. Like, he still got he could still go start for a team and do work. So I can't knock him for wanting to go back. I do think that he basically, from the movement that he started, made noise.
Yeah.
It made that ripple across the nation. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that's what he wanted to do. If he decides to go back and play ball, I support him. If he don't, I support him. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, the only thing I can think of is like, he got the dream, man. Like, man, and if he can do it the right way and get back and play the right way, which I don't even know if that's even possible because all this stuff, like you said, like, why even want to go back? You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a tough one, man.
What do you think about we were talking about the kneeling? Would you be opposed to because you coach a team, opposed to any of your players, showing protest? Because my son was playing for Absecon, and I know like that it wasn't going down there. He probably wouldn't even be able to play. You know how some of these teams are in some of these areas. So how would you feel about, if you had a child on your team who didn't want to stand up? How would you feel about that and took a knee?
Man, it's like if he truly understand why he was doing it,
right,
and can break it down to me why he was doing it,
right,
we can have a talk about it. But man, it would be it wouldn't be so crazy if somebody on our team do it because our organization is Black owned.
Okay, right.
You know what I'm saying? So they understand, like, most of our coaches are Black, so they understand the climate and they understand the reason why people want to do something like that. But I mean, that would be something that we would all, talk amongst each other. I would talk to the president, who is Black, Bobby Laws. I would talk to him. I have a player who definitely understands, what he wants to do. But, I'm not one of those dudes that just do whatever they want. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk to everybody. I want to talk to the rest of the coaches. What do you guys do? Because at the end of the day, if that child does it, we all are the face of this organization, and we all going to take the hit for it.
Yeah, that's a fact.
If we do it or not, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this is something that we would definitely talk about. You could hear a player like, yo, I'm just taking a knee, yo. But I mean, if you can't explain to me why you're taking a knee and why we're doing this, then I don't think you should be doing it. You know what I mean? I think right now, we're at a point now where we're kind of, I don't want to say we're past it, but like, when it was a real big thing, it kind of like moved on from it at that point. But look, let me tell you, that would have been a tough situation because there were teams like down south that was doing it heavy. Like every game they was taking knees and stuff like that, and some of them were catching criticism. A lot comes along with it, man. You just gotta, if you make that decision as a coach, you gotta be ready.
Yeah.
You gotta be ready for everything that's coming at you. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I could see it. As a coach, you gotta be built for the criticism and the things that's gonna come your way for certain decisions that you make. So if I was to allow one of my players to do that, it will be something that we talk amongst each other about. I talk to the coaching staff. Definitely need to talk to their parents to see if they really understand and if they feel comfortable with their child doing it or not, because he might be out there understanding what's going on, but never said nothing to his parent. Now he taking the knee. Now his parents is all mad at me because I let him do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so much communication that has to be done.
Nah, I get it. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Indeed. NFL and we all see the protocol with the concussions and things like that, and more conversation happening with that.
Yes.
And I believe I read a circular or a headline back in earlier 2018 where they were talking about possibly taking youth football out and taking it to 13, 14, or possibly high school. I couldn't wait to get your perspective on that, because having a son, and my son cannot wait to play football. I threw him in martial arts at 6. He just blossomed from it. He does great things. He's in MMA and boxing now, but that boy still wants to play football.
Yes,
and I'm a football guy. It hurts me not to put him on the field, but I have my reasons as to why not yet. Talk about that, man.
Okay.
Do you agree, disagree?
Do I agree with letting kids continue to play football?
I'm sure I know your answer, but speak on it. Speak on it.
Absolutely.
Speak on it.
Oh man, it's as a coach. Well, let me start off as a parent first. As a parent, I'm still going to allow my kids to play football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Even after I saw the movie Concussion, when I seen it, I was just like, that's wild. But there wasn't a time when I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let my kids play football anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And people can say what they want to say about me about that. Am I a bad father? That's your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
My wife is backing me, and at this point, that's all I need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if my wife was giving me some issues about it, to keep peace in the house, we would have to figure this out. But my wife knows how much football. We went to college together, so she been with me all my years playing college football and how important it is to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a way that we have to. You got to think about how when I was young, the things that coaches would say, like, get your head in there, put your head on. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's different. Like, I'm pretty sure I had concussions.
Facts.
And who knows what's going on in my brain right now? I pray to God, man, that my brain is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because, maybe I wasn't taught right. I make sure I teach my kids now. I teach my sons personally how not to put their head in the tackle. You know what I'm saying? There's all of our coaches have to be heads up certified to even coach now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody's watching, listening, you can look up, YouTube Hawk Tackle. Most of the players from the Seattle Seahawks, that's what they do. They get up in there, their head is always to the side. You know what I'm saying? It's all shoulder. You know what I'm saying? It's always getting your shoulder in the tackle. Your head should not be anywhere in the tackle. You leaning your head down like this or spearing or trying to hit somebody like this is not the way it's done.
Mm-hmm.
See what you hitting. Get to the side. Get your shoulder in there. Keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? Come up the right way. And then, the hawk tackles, you get them and you swing them down. It's just it's dope if you look it up, how they do it. And I teach my kids that and the players that I teach. So that's all they do.
So it's proper education now. The coaches educating themselves, right? So do you think that parents all right, somebody like me personally, I'm on the fence because I want to see my boy playing, right? Yeah, but I also want to make sure, because like you said, us growing up, it was put your head in there. And I remember playing for the Crusaders. I've watched some of my friends get taken off in ambulances because they broke their neck. It was just real, it was a reality. And being a father, and I don't fault you. I'm sitting here wanting to genuinely know, because I'm on the fence. I don't take it personal or take one side or the other. I'm a concerned parent. Yes. And to hear that people now educate themselves in learning and coaches, that's a great thing. So do you think parents just need to better educate themselves on the organization they have in their local area, the coaches, and what they're teaching these kids and making sure, ensuring their safety and things like that?
Definitely. That's how I'm going to tell you like this. That's how I got into coaching, because I seen stuff that wasn't right. My wife would tell you, I didn't want to coach because I didn't want to be involved with that daddy son stuff. Man. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew my sons were going to be good, because that's all they knew. Like soon as they came home in the crib, their first toy was a little football.
Right.
little football. They watching TV with me. That's all they do. And I knew that I was going to put the work in with my sons for them to be good. So I understood that, man, if I coach and my son's on my team and my son happens to be good, I'm going to get that. They gonna hit me with that, oh, you only give your son the ball and all that kind of stuff. So I didn't want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat back. I was on the sideline. I dropped my kid off. I watched, and I seen some craziness, man. I came home and told my wife, I was like, babe, these coaches don't know what they doing.
Exactly.
You tell me that all the time.
Yeah. A lot of these coaches, man, listen, I'm not trying to, I don't want to be the guy that's knocking. I'm just speaking facts right now. Mm-hmm. A lot of these coaches never really played the game. A lot of coaches are living a dream that they always wanted to do through the children that they're coaching. You know what I'm saying? I was blessed to be able to play on all levels. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I had a great career in college. I actually had a tryout with the Cardinals. Like, I did all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I played arena for a year. Like, I've done it. So I'm good. Like, I'm all about building the young men. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, it's all about life and building men for me. But at this, my wife said, well, you're there. You might as well just coach. So I'm like, all right. So I went out there, and I'm out there, and the coach he's starting to see that I know what I'm doing and know what I'm talking about. And he's like, yeah, do more stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm slowly taking over. Mm-hmm. And one day I couldn't make it, and the parents was calling, was like, yo, you got to be the coach. The coach quit because he wanted his son to be a running back, and his son is not a running back.
Mm-hmm. Be like that.
And the people were saying stuff, and he just took his son and left. So now the team has no coach. So the man that I am, I'm not going to let these kids suffer. You know what I'm saying? So I started coaching, and then from then on, this would be the first year that my son won't be on my team.
Graduated.
And I'm looking forward to it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, he's going to varsity, and my youngest son is going to be on his first year of Pee Wee. Okay, so I coach JV. So I won't get my youngest son for 2 years. Mm-hmm. So I'm coaching without them, and it's good for me, and I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? Because any coach out there that has a son on the team, they know what I'm talking about. It's a good thing for us as dads to, like, for our sons to move on. Mm-hmm. Like, people saying, won't you move up? I know you want to move up. Are you going to follow your son? And I'm like, nah. Mm-hmm. It's time for him to grow. I want him to hear from other men. I want him to grow from other men. I want him to build. Mm-hmm. And he's ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's not like, Dad, I want you to coach me. He's like, Dad, I'm ready. I'm ready to go up. And he's always going to be coached by me regardless. Right. Mm-hmm. When he get home, if I see something, I'm not the type of dude that's yelling, yo, over another coach. When I get home, I'm like, look, man, you know, you got to do this. You know, he plays receiver, so I can get with him. Mm-hmm. My youngest plays quarterback, so I don't know too much about the quarterback position. So I'll just have somebody else tell them some stuff.
Facts, man.
Do some more research.
Talk about some tough love, man, because in such a politically correct world where it's so hard to say anything and people saying, oh, you said the wrong thing and this or that. Yeah. And on the football field, I remember some of the greatest love I got was some of the tough love on the football field. True. Being a self-conscious kid, but always knowing I was great at certain things, but just having my certain issues on why I didn't want to achieve greatness. But certain people just coming in and out of my life and giving me that tough love that I can kind of resonate with now. It's such important. Talk about tough love and the importance of it and getting on some of these boys that may not necessarily be your sons, so to speak, but that you genuinely care about may need that love in such a politically correct world where it's so sensitive and victims and all that stuff.
You can look around in almost every league and see that one kid who has amazing talent, who can get away with whatever he wants because of his amazing talent. He can give you the attitude. He can talk back to a coach. And the coaches are just kind of letting them do what they want to do because they know that kid is going to help them win football games. Mm-hmm. That right there shows how much tough love is needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody needs to get with that kid and sit him. If you lose games or not, a teaching episode has to happen in that. Right. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of tough love. One thing that I do is I make sure that I introduce myself to all the parents that I coach. Like, it's to the point now where the coaches, the parents know what type of coach they're getting with me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't cuss at the kids. I don't bring them down or nothing like that. But the way that I'm speaking to them is they know that I love their child. Mm-hmm. I tell my players I love them, and they know it ain't no fake corniness. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really do love the kids that I have, and some of them don't know how to say it back. But as they get older, they'll say it back because they know that this is real. Coach Mike really do love me, yo. You know what I'm saying? So they know if I had to get on them, they understand the love. You know what I'm saying? And so I think we have to be tough on our kids because everything's so easy for them now, man. Like, everybody gets trophies and everybody's nice and all the kids is getting treated like babies. And if you this superstar, you get treated like a superstar. Like, you at some point, like, these kids got to be held accountable for what they're doing.
Facts.
And if you gotta give it to them real, give it to them real. And a lot of my parents, they love when I do it because they need it. I got parents that tell me, like, even if I'm not like basketball, I don't coach basketball. I did it because, again, a coach left and I stepped in. But I usually try to chill after football season. I try to do nothing. Yeah. But you know what I mean? You gotta be able to step in and tell these kids, like, yo, like, what you're doing is you're not gonna have a coach like me forever. Like, you're not gonna have somebody that's willing to deal with your mess. A lot of these coaches, man, they're like, yo, sit down, man. We ain't dealing with you. And a lot of the parents is like, I'm not coaching, but they're telling me, Coach Mike, you got to go talk to my son. Even though they already have a coach, but they know the relationship that I have with their child. So they want me to go and talk to him because they know how I love him. You know what I'm saying? And you call it tough love. It is what it is. Correct. You know what I'm saying? I feel that, you know, I feel like I'm doing a good job with them because when it's all said and done, they're being better men. Yeah. Yeah. And if we ain't winning every game, but they coming out as better men, then we won, yo. Yeah. That's what it is.
Word. Nah, yeah, I want to say, man, I appreciate, you know, what you're doing. You know, I mean, we need more, you know, brothers like you out here, especially with the football. You know, we all love sports. So yeah, it's a noble thing, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Hey, I want to say that, man. Definitely.
Appreciate it, man. Yes, sir.
That's a fact, mate. Just on closing, won't you talk about IAmMore a little bit? Give the people where they can find the apparel, where they can find a little more information on yourself, man. Give them the IAmMore information.
On Facebook, I just use my regular name. You know what I mean? You can look me up on Facebook as Mike Forrest. One thing about me, and this is where a lot of people like they give me the look like, what? Like, I am the movement. Everything I do is the movement. You know how some people separate it? Like, all right, this is, you know, that's my business account. People got Facebook, they got their own Facebook account and Instagram account, and then they got their company account and their organizational account. My joint's the same because everything I do is IAmMoreMovement. I'm the face of it. Some people like to be in the back, whatever. I'm the face of it. Like, and I don't have no problem posting me playing with my sons or posting something that I seen on TV that I want to comment on. Like, it's all in IAmMoreMovement. You know what I'm saying? So you can find me on Facebook, Mike Forrest. On Instagram, it's @MoreMovement. And I'm not even on Twitter. I need to get my Twitter game up, I think.
It's not easy, bro. But you got to get on there.
I'm on there. I used to be on there heavy, and then I kind of just like, But Instagram, I'm doing better on. Instagram is @MoreMovement, and then Twitter is IAmMoreMovement. I do have a IAmMoreMovement fan page on Facebook, but I really don't. It's just so much work posting from that and posting from this. It's just, so, and you can go to IAmMoreMovement.org to get just to get a little more information about what's going on
right now. Nice. Yeah,
you can go. I just revamped my my online store because I had a lot of people tell me that they wanted a cart. You know what I mean? So they can get multiple things. Yeah. So it
looks good, man.
I'm just listening to what they want, man. I'm just going on there. Right now, I got a whole bunch of new stuff, new ideas that I want, like hats, and everybody's saying, yo, we need a hat. So I'm gonna try to get a hat. I got some other stuff that I want to do. But before I do that, I want to kind of get rid of the inventory that I have. Like my wife will not let me spend money on getting all this new merch and all this stuff on the shelf. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see that my bad, the Killer Mike interview when he talked about his wife and how he was ready to go buy this car, and then
she said, "Nah, invest."
Good woman over man, and important, bro.
She won't let my wife. Yo, when you find a good woman, it's nothing better than that, man.
That's facts.
It's nothing better than that, man. So she always makes sure I'm like, babe, I got this idea. I want to get these hats. I want to get these hoodies. And she'd be like, but look at all the hoodies that you got on your shelf. Come on, let's get this. Let's get it out. So I got like a little promo going on. So for the rest of February, if you go online, it's free shipping and it's 10% off of everything. So you're kind of saving yourself.
That's dope, man.
You know what I mean? Like, one of my homies just bought like $80 worth of stuff.
Dope.
So it's a couple things that's sold out now, just off of him alone.
See, that's beautiful, man. We got to support each other more.
Please go on the website and get in, because I never thought that me selling merchandise would be the one of the main, which is probably the main income.
Yeah.
It's the main income. You know what I'm saying? Like I built this logo I did on my phone.
Wow.
By mistake. Like I was playing around with it.
Right.
And I just posted it, and somebody was like, "Yo, is that your logo?" And I'm like, "Nah, it's not." I was just kind of playing around. It was like, "Yo, this joint is dope, yo, bro." And I was like, "Yo, I think I need to make this the logo." So then I put it on a shirt, and I was just wearing it, and it was like, "Yo, can we get one of those?" And I'm like, "Yo, this is getting crazy. Maybe I should, make one." And then people like to wear it, and I always tell them, man, like, believe in what you wear. You know what I'm saying? So if you wearing this, like, not that it has superpowers or nothing, but like when you wear your hoodie, yo, feel like you more. You know what I'm saying? Like, feel like you better than what everybody else is trying to put you in some kind of box. Like, feel like you're better than that. Like, believe what you are. So that's what it is, man. This is like, all I wear is my own stuff. Like, I throw on my own hoodie every day. I got sweats. I throw my stuff on. It's just dope to just reach up in your drawer and put your own stuff on.
We talk about the power of ownership all the time in here. We started having apparel and we got the podcast. We're not playing. We owning everything. You know what I mean? So to see you doing that, it's an exceptional thing. Just in closing, man, when I was reflecting on the track and field story, I got another story. I remember seeing you after you won Mr. Oakcrest, and I was real hyped at the kids and all that. I was like, I'm going to win Mr. Oakcrest one day. I told you. It's like, dude, I'm going to do that. That's going to be me. I bet you. You say, man, you got to believe in yourself more. Look me dead in my face, didn't smile, and say, you got to believe in yourself more. And I looked at that and I was like, damn, man, like, what you mean by that, bro? But then I'm a self-conscious dude. There was always that step that I had of greatness that I could have went through, but there was some obstacle that I had to go over, and I was never really ready to go over that obstacle. So when you told me you got to believe in yourself more, when I grew up as a man, those words resonated with me. I wanted to let you know that, man. You were an inspiration to me growing up. Proud watching you do what you're doing, man. To sit here on our own platform, to see you sitting here promoting your product on our platform, it's a blessed thing to see, man. So I'm proud of you, bro, from the bottom of my heart.
Couple things, man. One, when you get into the lifestyle of always pouring out and giving, like, you kind of forget stuff that you say. That's how you know people is really in it. Because I don't even remember that.
I'm sure you don't. You
know what I'm saying? And I remember I had another story where do you remember the Trombetta twins from Oakcrest?
Nah.
You remember them? They I think my wife, we went to like a 10-year reunion, and my wife was in the bathroom with one of them, and she said to my wife, "Is Mike Forrest your husband?" She was like, "Yeah." She was like, "He's such a cool guy. I remember when some kid was saying some bad stuff about me, and he like stood up and made the kid stop or whatever." And I was like, I don't even remember that. You know what I'm saying? But like, when you get to the point in your life where people keep telling you things like, "Yo, I remember when you said this," and you don't remember it, that means that's just who you are. That's just what you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful to God that I was able to share that with you, and for you to not only remember it, but to be like living it now, living through that now. That's dope, man. That's dope. I'm proud of what y'all doing. I mean, y'all at a point where y'all and the lifestyle that we live in now, man, like social media can be your job. Like, it's people that's making a living off of this, making millions of dollars, making videos, and talking about topics, man. Like, this is dope, man. Like, and this was you. Was you in media?
I was saying I was in the choir, I was in media, I was always involved in it in some way, some
my
way.
dream, bro. Like,
I remember,
my dream. Like, media was my joint.
Right.
Falcon TV.
Falcon TV was life, bro.
I remember that.
Life. You know what I'm saying? And I still have a little passion for it, but like to see y'all doing it, like I know what it feels like, because I remember putting those videos together and coming up with ideas. And I remember the first time we started going live for Falcon TV, where it was, if you made a mistake, bro,
you on your ass.
We had people playing around with the teleprompter, like going too fast and slow. Like we had a good time, but you had to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? And this whole thing is dope, man. The way people can, if you got it, if you got a product and people want to like buy into it, you can go so far, man. This whole thing is dope, man. It's good coming out here and doing this with you guys, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, it's probably best one yet, man.
Indeed. We always saying that coming out of here, man. We doing good interviews, but this was a dope one. We needed this, man. We're looking forward to having this interview with you for various reasons. Obviously, as you heard on the Uncensored podcast, Mike Ford, CEO of the IAmMoreMovement. Go check him out at IAmMoreMovement.org.
Yes.
Please go buy some of the merchandise. Please support this brother and what he's got going on with the young men, in particular the black men in this community. It's a powerful thing. It's needed more. We look forward to doing more with you, brother, out here in this community, off camera. Appreciate having you on, man, from the bottom of my heart.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, man.
Yes, sir. Another episode in the books, man. Make sure y'all go support, once again, IAmMoreMovement.org. We out of here. Peace.